MAINGEAR's Ultima 18 is a beast, but can it outbeast this beast? Or this beast? Or can it outbeast Mr. Beast? Okay, scratch that last one. We couldn't get him in for testing in time for this video. But jokes aside, in a sea of amazing powerhouse laptops, can the MAINGEAR Ultima 18 stand shoulder to shoulder with greats we've seen so far this year, or even into next year? I mean, does it even stand out? Well, after spending a ton of time with it, there are 3 things that the Ultima 18 does really well, 2 things that we think are holding it back from its full potential, and 1 thing that honestly we never expected from something like this, and it might just break your brain. And we're gonna tell you all about that right here, right now, and Robeytech, after a word from our sponsor. If you're still searching for the perfect gift for that tech-forward friend, that family member, or that roguishly handsome devil in the mirror, fear not. Newegg is piling on some extra holiday cheer with their Dealcember event, with cost-saving bundles and deals on everything from pre-built PCs, monitors, laptops, CPUs, storage cases, and more. Scoop deals like this 1000-watt PSU from MSI or Corsair's 240mm IQ Link all-in-one liquid CPU cooler, both priced for $109.99. But if you're looking for a whole PC, Newegg has deals on pre-built PCs like the ABS Aquilian Aqua, featuring the 16GB RTX 5060 Ti for $1299.99. Or go mobile with this RTX 5080 equipped HP Omen Max laptop for $2,049.99. And if you want to give the gift that keeps on giving, check out this 1440p WOLED monitor from ASUS ROG for $525. This event will only last through December 25th, so head over to Newegg.com and click on the Dealcember banner for the full list of holiday deals. Oh, and if you missed it, Newegg will be running after Christmas sales too, but big thanks to Newegg for sponsoring this video. If you know MAINGEAR, you know that they are no stranger to putting out high-power, high-performance PCs that are both stunning and that push those PCs to new heights. And the goal, at least what we're seeing from the Ultima 18, is to bring that mindset to the mobile space. And after using it, we can see MAINGEAR's fingerprints all over this thing. The core components inside are top tier. The display, a 4K 200Hz refresh rate ISP panel, is one of the fastest ones we've seen in this form factor. And the I/O is plentiful, the keyboard and touchpad feel solid, and there seems to be some secret sauce layered in here for that MAINGEAR flavor. But do all of these things make the Ultima 18 the ultimate gaming laptop? That is up for debate, especially since all of those things I mentioned do not come cheap. The configuration we have for this review, which, by the way, huge shout out to MAINGEAR for sending us one to check out, retails for close to $5,000. Now, if you're clutching your chest and fainting after hearing that number, you may want to avert your eyes and ears for a moment, because that price is surprisingly in line with similarly equipped laptops like the ASUS ROG Strix Scar 18, the MSI Titan 18HX AI, and the Falcon Northwest DRX. Let me be super clear though, regardless of comparisons, that is still a lot of money. Then again, this is a different class of laptops we're talking about. And while MAINGEAR's main focus, at least according to their marketing, is gaming, and this is a desktop replacement laptop. As the name implies, these laptops are meant to deliver desktop-like power. In other words, gaming may be a facet, but it's capable of so much more. Hang on to that thought though, because you're gonna probably start noticing a pattern as we share our thoughts on where the Ultima 18 excels and where we think it could use some extra attention. But first, if we're gonna ask whether or not the Ultima 18 can stand out in a crowd, we need a few comparisons. And since the old saying goes that two's company and three's a crowd, we'll add a couple of other desktop replacements into the conversation to form an official crowd. Those other laptops are the gamer-focused ASUS ROG Strix Scar 18 and the colossal MSI Titan 18HX AI. We'll also sprinkle in some data from the HP Omen 16 Max for good measure too. And hey, if you want to know more about either of these laptops, we have in-depth reviews of them here at Robeytech. If you like those videos, we'd love you to hit that like and subscribe button. So now that we have the competitive landscape, let's actually dive in, starting with the thing we noticed right off the bat, the power profile. From what we can see in our CPU benchmarks, the Ultima 18 is pushing its 275HX processor in the best possible way. Check this out. In Cinebench, even though it didn't beat the Titan's 285HX, the Ultima still stood out compared to the Scar and the Omen in both single-core and multi-core performance, though the Scar was not having a good time in our CPU tests. CPU-Z tells a similar story, but this time the Ultima got much closer to the Titan. But let's not forget that the Titan is running significantly more RAM and a slightly faster CPU, which makes the Ultima look that much more impressive in comparison. When we look at the power draw averages, the Ultima 18 is pulling a higher average on both CPU than the Scar and the Omen while gaming. But when it comes to CPU load, it's noticeably different. While it's not uncommon in laptops to see the same CPU perform differently, MAINGEAR is clearly doing something to eke out as much of its components' potential as absolutely possible. Now, we did try to go see if we could pin down the secret sauce on the BIOS level, but we were pretty limited in what we could access on this actual laptop. That being said, a custom-tuned power profile would make sense with what we saw on their Shroud Signature Edition Mark III PC, which you should absolutely check out the video right here. See, custom BIOS tuning is an area where MAINGEAR really stands out, and it looks like we're seeing their fingerprints all over this one. Now, if that sounds too good to be true, we should talk about sound, because this is the first area where we think the Ultima 18 is being held back. Even though the Ultima 18 boasts a 5-speaker surround sound system powered by the Sound Blaster Studio Pro 2, it left us wanting a whole lot more than what it gave us, especially out of the low end. I need more bass, and it is all about that bass. While the audio is adequate for daily use out of the box, if you're looking for the Ultima 18 to provide a stunning immersive audio experience for gaming without tweaking settings, you're probably going to want to bring a good set of headphones to the party, which you may want some headphones anyway because the fans on this thing can get a bit loud. That being said, cooling is the next area the Ultima 18 stands out in the best possible way. When we compare it again, the Ultima 18 was one of the coolest laptops under full CPU load, and I'm not talking about by a little either. There's about a 4 degrees Celsius average difference between the Ultima 18 and the Titan, and when we look at the Scar, there's actually a 12-degree difference between those two. This thermal story tracks with our gaming benchmarks too, with an even more drastic difference in CPU temps. These are not small differences. Remember, that's with pulling more power and scoring higher CPU scores in both Cinebench and CPU-Z. This again is one of those areas where MAINGEAR has done an amazing job of tailoring the cooling curve to meet the demand it's putting onto the CPU and GPU. But then there is a flip side to all of this. While the Ultima is leading in CPU temperatures, the GPU, it did get around 4 degrees Celsius warmer on average versus the Scar, and about 2 degrees warmer than the MSI Titan. This highlights an actual very important caveat, because in gaming, these numbers are not apples to apples. That brings us to the thing that we think is holding the Ultima 18 back, the display. Now, I want to be very clear. This is a good display. The colors are nice, it's responsive, it's bright, and for the right person, it's a good fit. The problem isn't the quality, it's the resolution. We're just not sure that the pairing of a 5090 mobile with a 4K display is giving people the best mobile gaming experience. Remember, a mobile 5090 is not a desktop 5090, and they are not the same thing. So when it comes to a hardware pairing, especially for gaming, 1600p or QHD Plus would have been a better choice. Not only would the GPU take better advantage of the higher refresh rate that we have here, there are also more options for different types of mobile displays at that resolution, like OLED or mini LED. But let's take this out of the realm of opinion for a minute. Looking at native performance, the Ultima falls woefully behind the Scar's performance, just like the venerable MSI Titan. Mind you, these aren't optimal settings for native 4K performance, and the Scar is running 1600p. When DLSS enters the picture, the Ultima struggles to hit 60 FPS in Cyberpunk and Black Myth Wukong with DLSS, which doesn't bode well for ray tracing cinematic titles, or the use of multi-frame generation, which at a minimum for the gaming experience, you need that base 60 FPS level. I could argue this point for a while, but the most perplexing thing about the choice is that, number one, MAINGEAR is a gaming-focused brand, so it feels weird for gaming performance to not be prioritized here. And number two, a QHD Plus option for this laptop exists. It just doesn't exist from MAINGEAR. Hold on to that last part. I want to be super clear. The Ultima 18 can be a gaming laptop. It would just be more successful with a different display. But when we look at the whole picture, this is a super versatile laptop, which is the third thing that stood out to us. Having a 4K display does actually open up opportunities outside of gaming for creatives who need a higher resolution screen on the go. For someone like me who is constantly working in different locations, on video calls, live streaming, gaming, reviewing thumbnail photos, refining video edits, and more, the versatility of the Ultima 18 makes it really compelling to come back to. And in a lot of ways, it's this versatility that helps it stand shoulder to shoulder with the MSI Titan and beat it in one unexpected area, which we're going to tell you about after we pull back the mask of the elephant that's been hiding in this room. You see, the Ultima 18 is not what it seems. Sure, it is a MAINGEAR laptop, but it's also the Origin Eon 18X and the Falcon Northwest DRX, and more. And behind of all of those masks is actually the X580 W&T-G by a brand known as Clevo. This is what's known as a white label product. With partners like Clevo, MAINGEAR can actually sell laptops without a dedicated production line like companies like Razer, MSI, and ASUS. They still get to put their touches on things like RAM and storage solutions, then add their secret herbs and spices in the BIOS level to really make it their own. See, the challenge here is that MAINGEAR doesn't have much control over the actual platform itself though. So everything from the quality of the keyboard to the touchpad, even the I/O that's included, these things are all controlled by Clevo. Not to mention the power brick, which honestly gets warm enough that you could warm your hands on a cold winter's night and come away with melted snow, or maybe not keep it in reach of small children and pets. But the point is, you get the picture. The limitations on one level actually get passed on to the next, and ultimately to you, the user. But then again, MAINGEAR can actually look at any Clevo model, like a QHD version of this one, and say, you know what, let's just let Exotic PC sell that one. But you know what isn't limited, at least not as limiting? Battery life. I know, that probably sounds like I'm on crazy pills here, but I did just say that the battery life on a desktop replacement laptop was actually good. But how good? Are you talking about 20 minutes better than the rest? How does about a couple of hours sound? When we ran our battery benchmark tests, we did not expect to get over 5 hours of battery life out of the Ultima 18. And we saw only around 2 hours out of the ASUS Strix Scar, around less than 3 hours on the HP Omen Max 16, and about 3.25 hours on the Titan. Keep in mind, this is absolutely the bare bones mode here. We're talking about running off of the integrated GPU, doing low lifting operations like video playback and productivity, but even still, the Ultima showed that it can really work off battery as needed. And it's not going to give you that sad battery life experience that the Titan gave us, which honestly made us sad and sucked. So where does this all leave us? This laptop is good at a lot of things, and it's even great at others. The power delivery, versatility, and even the battery life all made this laptop stand out as a possible go-to option as a desktop replacement, but it has a bit of an identity crisis. While we would agree with MAINGEAR's marketing that this is a mobile powerhouse of a laptop, it's hard to see the Ultima 18 as the ultimate gaming laptop when ultimately it's limited by its white labeled platform and MAINGEAR's choice of display. The bottom line is this: when you look at the whole picture of the Ultima 18, MAINGEAR has done everything in their power to make this a MAINGEAR system. As a result, it stands out to other high-end laptops. It just misses the mark in a few areas. And for its price, those misses are a bitter pill to beast through, even for its beastly power. I want to be very clear. This is not a bad laptop. It just might not be the right laptop for you. For some, the features MAINGEAR delivered are exactly what they need in a laptop. For others, they may not be. And at the end of the day, you know what's a good fit for you. You may want an OLED or mini LED panel. You may want a more gaming-friendly resolution, or heck, you may need better sounding audio. And if that's you and you're planning on spending $5,000 on a laptop, be strategic about what you're actually getting. Because at this level, there is no reason to go with anything less than what's the right fit for you. As we wrap this one up, we want to know what you think about the MAINGEAR Ultima 18. What features stand out to you? How would you use a laptop like this, and are you put off by the whole white labeling thing, or is that pretty much a non-issue? Let us know all that down in the comments below. And if you like this video or you learned something, we'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. We have a lot of content like this coming here on Robeytech, Robeytech Live, and all of your favorite social media platforms. And hey, if you have questions or you want to talk to someone about this video, hop onto our Discord server over at discord.gg/Robeytech. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.